Good morning. Good morning, Justin, J-Dub. Who else we got in here? All right, so QQQ picked up about $1.75 this morning. The 10-year came down to the 168. Let's see. Who we got in here? We got J-Dub. We got Justin. That it? Got somebody else in here with us. The SPY kind of traded sideways, dipped down just a little bit more, sitting about 391. Actually sitting on a key support level. I actually got rid of most of my drawings for the SPY because it was getting ridiculous. I want to see how it reacts to the 392.45 moving forward going into today. It is actually, if we look at it, let's get some light here. There we go. If we look at it on the 1 hour, I was kind of seeing some prop up on the QQQ versus the SPY. I can pull that up here. As you can see, we're kind of ramping up on the 1 hour, but I want to see if we have some EMA rejections on the 30-minute on that bottom 13 EMA going into today. Good morning, everybody. I see we got a few people in here. If you can let me know who's in here, that'd be nice to know. Thank you for joining us. Let me switch my chat over to multi-stream. As most of you know, we've been doing pretty well on our small account challenge. I'm not sure if we're going to be as aggressive as we have been going into today in regards to that. Trying to determine if we're going to have some EMA fake outs in today's session and we push lower. The QQQ needs to stay above 313.15, and as I said a minute ago, the SPY needs to get above the 392.45. If it bounces off of that, then we could definitely see some downward pressure continue moving forward. So, Julian, good morning. How you doing, man? I want to spread this out just a little bit. I spent some time last night before we went to sleep. I created a spread tracker for us, and with the markets pulling back, whether it stops or not, or continues moving forward, I want to see if we can start going through our coffee and stocks watch list. Jesus, baby. My daughter just woke up. Sounds like I'm gonna have to go snatch her real quick. Let's see if if I can get some help there. Yep. Let me go get it real quick. Rumors of a crash coming. Girl. Nope. Come hang out. There we go. I'm gonna hop off cam for a moment. Rumors of a crash coming. I've been saying there's some potential pullback. Looking at the SPY on the 1 hour, we're actually starting to see some EMA crossovers, which if you look right here, EMA crossover here, we pulled back, right? We have been at the top trend of this longer term channel that we've been trading in, these blue lines that we're looking at. And this has been in the recovery, I want to say, since March 2020, right? Yeah, correct. So we broke back down below that channel. Good morning, Antoine. How you doing, man? We broke back into that channel, and since then we have been consolidating down. So yesterday I was looking at potentially us hitting the 383 again, since we already made our move down closer to the 368. I actually thought it was going to come down to 368 last time. It only hit 371. So now we're picking back up and we're swinging again. We ran into those resistance levels around the 395.83, although we did hit the 398 for the all-time high. Of course, I peaked up just a little bit below, but couldn't find support above that 395.83, and that's why I'm identifying that as the resistance there. As you can see, we started that resistance right here, and it broke out, bounced back down, and broke back out before breaking down, and ultimately gapping down the last few days. It seems like it's bouncing down to the downside, so I might be doing some intraday swings to the downside on some puts potentially, although we are about to hit that 180 simple moving average, so we could bounce right back off of that. As I was telling the group this morning, I was actually looking into doing some intraday calls on the SPY, but if it showed some downward pressure, I might be doing some puts. I want to see how it reacts to this 180 simple moving average. Um, but ultimately, a bullish signal in a smaller time frame. I'm not saying the market's not bullish or bearish or whatever. It's not the conversation I'm trying to have. But a bullish signal in the next few days or today even would have been being back above the 392.45. As you can see, pre-market we bounced up around those levels, and it has since then bounced off of them. So they previously played somewhat resistance before, and we came all the way back down to the 379 levels. So it's not impossible to potentially hit those levels again intraday, just from the downward pressure of the markets pulling back and panic selling going on, which I've been suggesting to everybody to probably consider repositioning yourself before you go deeper in losses if you aren't already in losses, and if you have gains, then go ahead and secure them, and then reposition yourself when the market settles. We've done well over the past few weeks in tracking the markets overall and identifying the reversals in the markets, whether it's up or down. And we've been trading those swings for the most part to practice our option trading on the small account challenge. So definitely paying attention to the I wouldn't say longer term, but more midterm, next few weeks type is what I say when I say midterm. Short term, I'm looking like, a few days. So just so you know what I'm talking about when I say that. Long term, then I'm looking at, out a few months, and then longer term is like a year or 2 years out, just so you know what I'm talking about and people don't have some misconception of what I'm trying to say. Excuse me. These 390.46 levels are also a key level to pay attention to as well. As it's previously played resistance, I want to see if we find support above those levels around the 390.51. The 180 is starting to swing towards that level, so I think we'll bounce off of it. We may play and compress on that 180 level for the most part, and then bounce to the upside, of course, moving forward. So we've done pretty well in capturing gains on whether we're doing calls or puts on the SPY and the QQQ for that matter. Done a lot better on the QQQ because the price range spread is much larger than the SPY. The SPY trades between 398, has been trading for the most part of this week between 390 and 398. So with the QQQ trading between about the let's see, I think it was like the 312 to the 324. So there's a $12 spread there versus a $6 spread or so. Anyways, moving forward though, watching this QQQ level right around the 313.15 as it previously played resistance, broke through there once but was rejected, came back down and gapped up above it, and has since rode that line for the most part of the week, last Friday, leading into this week, and now we're back at those levels. Gap down right before after hours yesterday. I know some of you guys got to watch this with us. This is really when we started capturing those gains on the puts that we had. We saw signals right here on the EMA where we saw some compression there, but of course Jay Powell spoke about keeping rates flat, and that bounced up the markets. We had calls on this day, and that's when the SPY hit 398 for a new all-time high. We expected a gap down. It came in about $4 down on the SPY and QQQ, and we could have did some more calls here because of this support level. But what I was seeing going into the market open was this continued EMA compression, and I felt like it was losing momentum in the swings. So we did puts yesterday, and we capitalized on those. One would think to go ahead and go into today with additional calls back to the upside, which I'm considering, but for the most part, we're still trading below the EMAs, and we have some work to do to get back above them. We might see some bounces to the upside. Like I said, we need to stay above the 313.15 if that's going to be a confirmed signal for the most part after market opens. And we can swing back to those 322 levels, which it's about a $9 spread, and that's good for us if we're doing calls. Otherwise, we could pull back down to the 300s right down here. And I point those out because they played support very well before. So right there about 312, $300.12 that is. So that's an even better spread, a $13 spread. And we're shooting after options that make about $50 a dollar down or up. So on a $13 spread, we're looking at, what is that, $650 or so if I'm doing my math right. And even to the upside, no, even to the upside, $9 spread still gives us about $450 on the swing. So pretty nice there. You could actually go into one contract with that type of setup. Low cost, about $300-400, and you can make about 100% on that type of volatility. So I've been paying attention to the US 10-year. It gapped down to the 168. Are you still holding your QQQs? Okay. I actually went ahead and got rid of mine because on my small account challenge, I was able to come over 3,300. As you all know, my target was going from, I think it was like 2,200 at the beginning of the week, and I wanted to hit 4K today by end of day today. So I'm pretty on track with that. I'd have to make about $700 today, which past few days I have been. I got you. You were driving. But I've been making about 700, roughly $688 to $700 every day. So it's not impossible for me to achieve and even kind of capture some more profits above 41, or around 4,100 today. So I'm looking for that. I'm not going to throw the entire portfolio at it, like I said, because the spreads are so wide that I think it'll take far less for me to use. I'm going to split my portfolio up where I have half of it ready for potential calls going into today if we get those support confirmations that I'm looking for, and then potentially use the rest of my portfolio for a downturn about midday. So that's my expectations for the markets today, and I just wanted to point that out before we get started. I don't expect to be doing any trade alerts for all of you premium members or free members due to the potential for pullback. I don't want to get set up and caught and holding positions in higher price ranges when we could potentially get them from cheaper. The US 10-year broke down to the 168 overnight, hit about 174 at its peak, I believe 175 yesterday, which really pushed down on the markets overall. Inflation and higher rates is what's pulling down on this now rotation. Seems like every few weeks there's something big occurring that's causing changes in the market. That being the US 10-year Treasury yield, the most important thing we need to watch. As you can see, is gapping back up, so we can consider pressure back on the markets moving into today. So that's something to pay attention to. I think Justin said, what do you think about my contracts? We'll look after open. All right, so the markets picked back up a few dollars due to the fact that the US 10-year had pulled back on us, right? With it picking back up, you can expect those few dollars to almost be erased by market open. Looking at the daily trade log, which is what we use to basically keep track of what's going on in the overall markets, and that includes global markets altogether, U.S. equities, international equities, the VIX, the crude, copper, and the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. Well, this morning when I got in here, we were at a +5 right here. We are now at a -1. And typically in a day's time, you might be at a +7, and then it'll drop maybe to a 5 or a 3, even as low as a +1. But to jump 6 points that quick, and I just tracked the markets at 7:30. I'm not sure exactly what time it is right now. I'm not looking at. It's 8:09. So in the last 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes or so, we've pulled back all of the gains that we had from this morning. So I expect these to continue pulling down, and that's why you kind of saw this gap down. We're still trading under the EMAs, like I said, which still signals a potential continued pullback. I do want to see how the SPY reacts to that 180. It could be a temporary pullback, and we let it dip. You go ahead and capture your options contracts. I'm not sure if you guys still have potential day trades left or not. But yes, it is Friday. There is something to consider in Friday. Is a lot of people may be taking gains from how they performed over the week. and stepping out for a while. Uh, they don't really hold over the weekend. Now, while I have everybody here, please feel free to add me on Facebook if you haven't already. If you're new, let us know. I want to welcome you to the live stream and to the community here at Millennial Investments and what we're trying to accomplish. If you want, we're currently doing a small account challenge to utilize options and learn how to hedge and leverage our accounts in market pullbacks. So even when our longer term holds or our swing trades aren't performing, we can still profit. So shot that in the chat. I'm going to shoot a Discord invite as well, because that's where we're holding this small account challenge and keeping track of performance. So I want to go ahead and share that with you. So if you want to join in on us, we're up about 50% from where we started. We only started with $200. Some people are up $300. Some people are already up $400. So some seeing 100% gains, some seeing 50. Some people weren't able to keep going with this strong due to day trades restrictions and stuff like that. But we're working to get them set up where they don't have those issues anymore. I'm not sure if Steven's on here, but I see what you said. I smell blood in the water already. Could be a Bloody Friday here. I wouldn't disagree at all. Like I said, we're trading below those EMAs. Those are key. We need to get above these levels that we were looking at. We could have held our puts into yesterday, but this could have easily bounced off of those support levels and reversed on us going into this morning. We could have gapped up. This morning, last night, like I said earlier, I built a spread tracker though, and in times of a market pullback, what we can do is utilize the spread tracker. It's almost like an Excel spreadsheet, but it does the work for us. All we have to do is put in our price targets, and it will pull from TDA the current market price of a stock. We put in our price targets, and it builds out a table for us to understand what our spreads are going to be, and then we can identify in these market pullbacks how high. And those spreads are based off the technical analysis we do. And they're going to be based off the coffee and stocks watch list we've been watching, which have been pretty good stocks. And if there's anything else anyone wants to add, go ahead and throw it in the chat. We're also building it in the Discord as well. But what the spread tracker is going to do is tell us we're going to do technical analysis, identify where we think the stock will rebound once the markets reverse, and then it'll track the current market price against that price target, and then it'll auto sort the table for us so that we can then identify, okay, these are the best stocks to get in based on price ranges of recovery, if that makes sense. What do you guys think about that? If you could let me know, hit me up in the chat and give me some ideas on that and how you feel about that. I think it's pretty good for us to find things cheap like we did when the SPY was going through that initial rotation. Once the U.S. 10-year first started picking up, we're going through a second rotation now, and you guys know how hard that was to go through with things that you're holding longer term. You're expecting to bounce, and it's losing momentum because of that. We were busting through support levels. We were doing tech analysis after tech analysis on all of our coffee and stock sessions, and pretty much all of them broke down through those support levels. Good morning, Thomas Gill. I'm not sure if this is your first time here, but if so, welcome. This is Coffee and Stocks. We do this about 7 to 7:30 Central Time every morning, where we discuss the markets, the overall day, and how we expect it to perform. And then we have a Coffee and Stocks watch list where all of our users have added stocks that they either hold positions in or they're looking at making positions with. Feel free to throw them in the chat. That goes for anybody. You're more than welcome. We can review those stocks live here together so we can all share the same information at the same time. We actually have a Discord call active right now, which is being fed into this YouTube live stream and Facebook now. So if you actually want to get in and have a conversation, feel free to hop on there, and I'm more than welcome to let you. Just don't say anything crazy. Anyways, but moving forward, so I want to see if the SPY can hold above the 390.51, like I said, and then ultimately the QQQ needs to sit above the 313.15. Of course, welcome. Thank you for joining us, man. All we ask everybody here is to simply, if anything, subscribe to the channel and also share it if you feel like this information is beneficial in any kind of way for any other investors, as we look at this as a team. This isn't about just me. So anyways, moving back to it though, U.S. 10-year is starting to pick up again. We're seeing some strong momentum on the 1 hour, so I expect this to actually break through the 175s today. If it does that, we're definitely going to have some stronger pressure. What's up, Steven? How you doing, man? I think this is your first time being here. I know you're not a first timer to the community, but I haven't seen you on the live stream with us. I'm glad you can make it. Um, did you sell your spy puts yesterday? I know I did. I sold everything. I was gonna hold one in solidarity with the group, but I had to capture my gains, man. But we did well. I made about $688 on those yesterday. But yeah, doing very well on those. Expected to continue pushing downward, more so than anything. The SPY is conducting an EMA crossover. It's very rare on the 1 hour where you see it do a fake out. A fake out being where you see the EMA analysis going red, like right here. This was a fake out, but ultimately it continued to the downside. What I try to do is determine the spread between the EMAs and how hard the pressure is going to be to the downside as well. So if I look back on that previous action, you can see how this is a little bit tighter, but once it finally broke, it still broke close to $8 down, right? No drops, some spot puts, kept most of them. Then you should be winning today. You might have a little theta burn. You'll have to compensate for that, but for the most part, key level to watch for the SPY is the 390.51. Depends on where you bought yours, of course. But I'm going back in price action just to kind of identify more of these spreads and the compression zones, like right here on the EMAs before it finally broke down, and we pulled down about, what is that, about $10 or so after it finally broke. So we were at 379. We dropped to about, ultimately overall we dropped to about $10. So we can expect the SPY to drop. If it breaks support at these 390.51s, we can drop to 380 with ease, and it's going to be a falling knife effect. It'll break through that longer term trend for temporary, a temporary moment, and then I think it'll rebound. There are some support levels on the way. I'm not saying that we couldn't rebound off of those, but I was more privy going into this morning with some potential calls on the markets, thinking we were going to rebound off of these support levels. But I saw that the US 10-year gap down and has since picked back up about 50%, give or take. So that may have an adverse effect on the markets rebounding off those support levels, and we continue to the downside. So I'm going to let the market open. We don't have too much longer before that occurs. It's right at 8:18, so we have about 12 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get my TDA up and running. I haven't even opened anything this morning. Was highly considering not even trading today. Because we can definitely go sideways for the most part too, but that 10-year is really pulling pressure down. So definitely something to watch out for. We have about 13 people here. If you would let us know who all is here. I want to welcome anybody that's new. I want to let you know that if you have any stocks you want to review going into today, we have about 14 people now. If you have any stocks you want to review, feel free to let me know in the chat. Jeff just hit me up. Let me see what he's talking about. What is it? Is the video on in Discord? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't turn the video on in Discord. Let me share that with you. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, so we have a Discord call if you want to hop on the Discord call with us. Don't be afraid to do so. Turning it on now for you guys. There you go. And so I'm waiting for my TDA to open up. Good morning, Reg. How you doing, man? Looking at some more potential puts going into the day, though. If we break these support levels, we're riding right above the 390.51 on the SPY and right below the 312. We need to be above the 313.15. But I want to look at Tesla too, just to see how it's performing. That'll affect your EV plays. Even if Bitcoin is picking up, you can expect pressure from the markets themselves to weigh down on our crypto plays. Tesla's breaking 650. So, if you're privy to it, you could do some shorts on the Tesla itself. It's almost like a future in itself for the EV market. Good morning, Carl. How are you doing? Glad to have you here, bro. New to the community. Hope you can come win with us. So, yeah, you can see that downward pressure. It fell below. Once the EMAs break, man, it's pretty much a wrap. And it's going to continue to the downside for the most part. So, looking into, I'm sitting right above 3,300. So I might spend like maybe 1,000 to 1,500 one way, and then 1,000 to 1,500 to the opposite. I'm looking for another 700, which is about 50% on my contracts, which is pretty easy to do in these volatile markets, on each of them. And I'll make about, if I do about 1,000 to 15, I'll make about 500 to 750 per direction we go. So that'll definitely put me on over 4K. I could potentially hit 5K on those types of market moves. So that's what I'm looking for going into today. I might take some, you know, a little bit of loss in there for the most part. It typically seems like even if we position ourselves right, we still take a loss before we actually see these heavy gains that we've been jumping on. And it's been kind of crazy and fun to sit here and watch with the rest of the team. For anybody that's in the small account challenge, we're doing a group small account challenge where everybody puts $200 to $300. We're currently at $300, so that's why I say 2 to 300. But we started, well, some people are at 300, some people at 4. But anyways, we started with 200, and we're just throwing that 200 at option contracts to build up these small accounts, and then using the profits we're making off the small contracts across the overall markets in order to buy into contracts on individual stocks that we want to hold long term, along with equity stakes, using the options in order to make the equity stakes that we hold free. So we're actually acquiring free shares in the process of all this, while picking up free buying power using the markets and their swings alongside that. So it's like a parallel or a paradigm. I'm not sure if that's the right word for it, but they're running simultaneously next to each other. So anyways, moving forward, looks like we're tapping that 390.51 and potentially moving down. I want to see what the lower time frames are looking like for us first before we go any further, and see how they're reacting to these movements. Let me clear some of this up for us. That's the 4 hour. Let me get it set up properly. I want to see the 10-minute. I want to see. And another thing that I was pointing out yesterday, we have a good bit of people here. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. I think this is the most concurrent viewers we've had so far, which I like it this slow. Honestly, I don't want anything large, because it takes away the personal communication. I don't want my chat thing just blowing up off the Richter scale and I can't keep up with it. Let's see what we're looking at there. So we're losing momentum on the 10-minute. 30-minute we're showing rebound, but we're losing support around that 390.51. I expect this to continue coming down. We are heavily oversold on the 1 hour, but like I said, I just think the downward pressure is going to come in. The 4 hour, on the other hand, I'll kind of pick it up so you can see it more in depth. It kind of tells the story overall, right? So we haven't conducted any type of EMA crossover here on the 4 hour. I'm going to get rid of my drawings for a second, just so we can look at the indicators. But we have broken below that EMA. And typically, anytime anything trades below its EMA, it's going to have issues bouncing back above it. You can check your key levels, and we've practiced that a lot. But I just think this is really going to come down hard, at least to the 386 if we were to use the 180 small moving average. And I could actually put the 200 there because a lot of people trade off of that. But I think I learned that from my guy Jeff, where he uses the 180 to stay ahead of everyone. And it's a smart move. So that's what I prefer as well. Even on that Accord, though, you can see how we've hit that 180 pretty well on the 4 hour for the most part. Even if we break below it, then you can expect an even larger dip. And from that dip, we were at 390 here, and we went all the way to 372. So that's an $18 spread, which only leads back into this $50 per dollar dip or rise that we'll gain off of. You can just do the math yourself. That's almost $900 off one contract. That gets $50 to the downside, if I'm right. So yeah, that is right, actually. Anyways, so if we pulled that off today, like I said, I'm only looking at using half of my portfolio. That should actually give me 150 to the downside, because I will be looking at buying 100 to 150 to the downside. I will look at buying 2 to 3 of these contracts, and that's only using half of my portfolio, and leaving the other half for a potential swing back to the upside if we were to bounce off of that. So even if I'm looking at 1 to 150 on the downside, I'm still looking at potentially making about $400 there. And then the rebound, I'll have the same spread. We could go back up to potentially the 393s in the long term. So from 386 to 393, that's about $7. I'm looking at making 700, if I'm doing my math right, 700 to 1,050 on the return. So I'm looking at anywhere from $1,100 to $1,400 day to day alone, just off these simple moves. And I expect it to be on point. If we look at our daily trade tracker, as you can see, we were at a -1. Like I said, when I opened up this morning, we were at a +5. We dropped to a -1 in 30 minutes, which is a -6 loss, and this is the overall score. I use this to give me an idea of the direction we're going, and as you can see, the U.S. equities have pulled back about 0.41%, which is kind of heavy when you combine all of that together. It's not picking up the Russell for some reason this morning, which is weird. But the S&P alone is only down 0.2%. I'm really more focused on the QQQ, which I need to go in here and add another column in there. So since we are trading the QQQ a lot more than we were before. Still sitting below that support level on the SPY, and I expect the same for the QQQ. I'm not really, I was going to start doing the spread tracker. I might do that after we get ready for the markets to open. I was going to wait until about 9-10 o'clock before I bought anything, because I didn't want to buy something at market open and then get slaughtered at midday. But like I said, I just feel like this is going to keep coming down, as we're already back at the 1.73 on the 10-year. So I'm going ahead and getting ready for you guys in the small account challenge. I'm going ahead and getting ready to look at some puts on the QQQ and the SPY. I will be running them together. At this point, I'm looking at for the small account challenge, you guys should be able to buy the probably the 303s to 304 on March 26, 2021. That's about 7 days out. You're going to be a little bit lower out of the money because it's so far out. But we're only holding this intraday. You'll make about $33 to $35 on the trade. So we're looking at the 303s to 304s on the QQQ. I much prefer that because it has a larger range than the SPY. And on the SPY, let me see. Actually, I'll display it on here so you can see it here. Looks like my computer's trying to freeze a little bit. We actually have a 3-day contract available for the SPY for March 22, which is Monday. So you should be able to buy some, if you're looking to make about $50, you'll be able to buy the 391 SPY puts about 267. And that's on March 2020, or 22, March 22, 391 puts for about $267. Of course, it might be a little bit cheaper because the SPY picked up just a little bit, so the theta burn will kick in. These might be about $250. So you could probably get the 392s for about $300 even. That way you're a little bit deeper in the money. Okay? If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know in the small group challenge text group. Making coffee, be right there. Yeah, I need more coffee, John. But yeah, on the SPY, we're looking at potentially the 392s for March 22 for about probably gonna be around 300 flat for you guys there. Okay. And then on the QQQ, I'll show you that spread live so you can see that. And then we only have a few minutes, 12 seconds before market opens, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my orders ready myself. There we go, we're opening. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we're already breaking down, so I'm going ahead and hopping in. I'm gonna go ahead and get the, oh man, they're trying to charge $1,000 on that one. That's nuts, bro. You're tripping. Ain't nobody gonna buy that. Ain't nobody. There it goes. Come on down a little bit for me. Alright, so as far as the team goes, you can either buy the 303s or the 304s. These bids are jumping as everything kind of consolidates. You can look at the 304s on the SPY, or on the QQQ, I'm sorry. And then Carl, I saw your message on Facebook. We are using about $300 on these moves.
So, morning, guys. We doing calls or puts on QQQ?
Puts.
All right, puts. What was the date you said again? 26th?
322. Let's hold off before we start buying anything real quick because I want to see how we react to this support level. We're not far from it, so it could pop up above it. Let me pull out. Don't go nuts on buying it just yet. The SPY is about to hit the 180. I want to see how it reacts to it. We still have enough downside that if this were to try to correct itself, we can go to the downside. It looks like the QQQ is trying to pick up a little bit, but that could be a false move. Do have green candles coming into the day, so let's just be careful here. I want to see if we have
I'm
an
sorry.
EMA rejection on the 30-minute. What's up?
I'm sorry. You said March 22?
Yes, is the date we're
That's
looking
weird.
at. On the SPY, it's March 22. On the QQQ, I think it's March. Oh no. Yeah, on the SPY, it's March 22, and on the QQQ, I think it's like March 27th. I'm sorry.
All right. I'm seeing March 26th on the QQQ. I don't see a 27.
That might be. I'm kind of moving. I'm trying to keep up with it. Yeah, it's March 26th. You're right. Sorry.
All right. No problem. And you said
But
the 30 what's? Oh, 303, 304.
yeah. Even better the 306 at this point as it's starting to pick up a little bit, but I don't just jump into it right now. Let's hold off for a
All
second.
right. Yeah, I just sat down. I feel like I'm playing catch up. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. I just don't want anybody to get set up for potential loss. We are bouncing up to the upside a little bit there, but could be a false rejection there. On the EMA, I'm watching the EMA right now. Get ready. If not, then we can buy on the call side. We can buy the 317.5s on the QQQ, same date. And then I had to separate this so I could see the SPYs at the same time. We could potentially get in on the SPY. If we're going back to the upside, you can actually buy the 391 puts for about $300 if we're going to continue moving down, or you can buy the 389 calls for about $300 if we're continuing going down. Carl, I see you hit me up on Facebook. I'm having a jump between all three, so I'm gonna not be able to hop in those chats right now. Okay. How much? 26 for QQQ. Thank you. All right, you were correcting me. Cool. I want to see what the markets are doing real quick. Are we pulling back? We are. The 10-year is picking back up. I want to see some confirmations on it. It's about to go green, so this is about to come down. I'm going to go ahead and say we can move forward with the 306s if you're willing to pay about $8 more. You might be able to get in. It's popping, so you might be in at like 309 or something like that. And then I'm going to buy in the money call on it. All right, I got in on it. I'm going to buy the... I'm going to level out with the 316s. No, you know what? I'm not even going to be greedy. I'm going to do the 550s on it, and then that way I'll have about 500 to put towards the SPY puts.
All right, so 306 QQQ is the go.
Yes.
All right. All right, I'm in on that.
Okay. And then I'm buying on SPY. I'm buying the I spent about right at 1300 so far, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy the 269 390s. It's in the money on March 22nd for 275. I'm hopping in it.
All right, I'll take that too.
And I might buy a second one myself. In case this goes up 100%, I can let that second one go free. That'll leave me with roughly about $1,500 to play with, which is about half the portfolio. So
All right.
Now,
That
what we're gonna watch.
those two calls are all of my nut.
All right. So one thing I might wait to buy that second one because I might be able to ladder attack it just a little bit. One thing we'll be watching for the rest of the day is the U.S. 10-year, and as long as we see momentum to the upside on it, I expect downward pressure on the rest of the markets. Even though we were seeing signs of this pulling back up on the momentum indicators as far as your MACDs, you might see this reversing on the MACD, but it's still trading below that EMA. So like I'm already down a little bit on my spies. I'm not down much for the day. I'm down about $25 overall. So let's see.
Oh shit. Those 390 spies, those puts or calls?
We're doing puts on everything.
Okay, good. Whew. That scared me a little.
All right, so I'm up about $25 now. It switched that quick. I'm gonna go ahead and I have a little more leadway. I'm gonna make sure I'm not buying this too soon. Yeah, we're about to clear 300 on that one, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. I'm fine with it. I'm already up $72 this morning. Of course, my buying power is a little bit higher than the 300s. I'm about 10x on the buying power side, but I only use half of mine, so it's about 5x. I still have $1,500 to catch a reversal on this going into the day, but you guys should be up. I can tell you at least your percentages as we monitor it going forward. You guys should be up. We did the 306s; those are up about 8% already, 7%, and then the SPY puts that we just bought in are about up about 1%. So pulled back just a
Hey,
little
Tim,
bit, but I want to see what the 10 years doing. It's kind of consolidating for the most part, but I
how are we
think it's
feeling
gonna.
about that put that we held overnight?
What'd you say?
That QQQ put for 301 that we held overnight.
Yeah.
Still holding that?
How much? How much are you gaining on that actually?
I'm at 96, but a loss of 24 for today.
Yeah, it's because of the theta burn. I'm guessing.
Yeah, and it's been jumping a little bit.
Hey, what's a good entry for that QQQ?
What's a good entry?
Yeah, I had to switch some stuff around. My calls I held overnight, they didn't clear for buying power today.
So 3, 13, 15. If it taps that level, then go ahead and enter around there. Because that's support and it's trading below it right now, so it's gonna tap it on the top side, but I ultimately expect it to continue coming down. Thomas Gill, I see your message. Will you be starting a new small account challenge, or is there tips or past info to catch up? You can always just throw $300 at it. That's where we're currently at. For some people, I think the minimum of amount of where people are is $300. So it's never too late to hop in with us. All right, let me pull this out just a little bit. Let's look at our indicators on the lower time frames. So I have the 10, I need the 5. I want to see what the 5's doing. Yeah, we're seeing some EMA rejections right there. I'm up about $80 myself. I'm about to clear 3400 or 33x right now. Everybody on the QQQ puts that we did on the team should be up about 7%. The SPY puts should be up about 3.
Yep, I'm tracking.
Cool. I'm gonna look real quick, but I don't recall seeing anything on the economic calendar for the most part that just stands out to me that could cause any difference and momentum shifts. I'm not sure if there's too much good news that could be released either, as far as you know, that could really just bring this market up. But you never know. I'm not saying there isn't gonna be anything. I'm looking now. Doesn't look like there's anything on the economic calendar, but let me be sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, it looks like we're getting some pressure. We just broke 312 on the SPY. breaking down below the 180. So that's a good signal. That's going to lead into this EMA crossover being complete. That EMA crossover being complete is waiting on the 34 to go below the 35. I mean the 55, and the 13 has already broke down as is. So I wanted to see how it reacted to that level. It's only going to build confidence as we have broke that level before. I want to point out something else. As soon as we tap that 180, even further back, right? So when we first started seeing this EMA crossover right here, and it actually tapped the 180, gapped up just a little bit like it tried to bounce off of it, but ultimately that's where it broke down, and we went down about $10 in the markets. So, oh wow, I'm up to $3,600 already. I'm up $317 right now. You guys should be up about 24% on those SPY puts already. Fortunately, QQQ puts, you should be up about 25% on those SPYs. The 10-year is showing signals of picking back up. It's about to create a crossover on the 1 hour as it had an EMA fake out where it didn't consolidate and go red at all. I expect that thing to explode once that 1 hour goes. So about 9:45, I think that thing's going to take off, and it's really going to cause more pressure to the downside. Now, I can hit my goal today without even spending half of my portfolio, which is much more what I would prefer. What we need to look at that. It's a dropping knife. I said that earlier this morning when we first got on.
Yeah, I totally missed that entry.
For what?
The QQQ. I had to switch over to Robinhood, and I just not used to it.
Wow. No.
Is there anything else I could jump in, you think?
I expect this to reverse, right? So at some point, I'm looking to identify the support level we're going to hit, which is what I'll be focusing on for the most part on my other screen over here. That way we can keep track of the momentum going into this right now. So I want to see what the next level of support will touch.
I just hit 200 in profit on my QQQ put. That thing's dropping fast.
Keep in mind, guys, you do not have to follow me through the end to this, right? So if you're comfortable with your gains, take them. I don't blame you for doing it. But looking at the QQQ on the 30, it's about to break down on the MACD. It's still trading. The EMA crossover was just completed on the 1 hour. I want to see it break below 311 and keep pushing down. I want to see where it's sitting on the 180 moving average. Let me have my daughter in my arms, so it's kind of hard to operate. Come here, girl. Sit over here for daddy. There you go. She's knocked out. She said I was going to join y'all this morning, but I'd rather sleep. So we got the SMA. Is that the one I'm using over here? We're going to see some pullbacks, but I don't think this is the bottom. We're already at a -5 on the overall score. Typically, if it's red, it's going to be a red day for the rest of the day for the most part. But we do need to be prepared to catch our exit. I don't think that's right now. Let's see. What was I looking for? SMA. What SMA? Simple moving average is what I'm using. Yeah, how TradingView has it set up is kind of different. Is that what I'm looking for? No, it's not. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Has like 10 SMAs on here. I only needed one. That's crazy, dude. That's the way to wake up. Tell you that much. Wake
You
up.
doing the 306?
Yeah. That's where
March 26th?
Yeah. On QQQ or the SPY?
QQQ.
QQQ 306, yes. Drawings, where's my SMA?
Did you see that article I posted about the stuff going on with Ride?
With Riot or a Riot?
No, with Ride, with
Oh, Ride. Was it
they had a
fi-
bunch of fake contracts trying to pump that they had a whole bunch of pending orders.
Wow.
And it
Really? Lord
hit the
Sound
news
Motors?
yesterday. Yep.
Wow.
So they were claiming that these small businesses were ordering like thousands for a fleet when they don't even have any vehicles as of
All
right
right.
now.
So you can expect Workhorse to come down off of that because they are a majority owner of that company.
Yeah, I posted the article in our small group challenge chat.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw it. I just didn't have a chance to stop and go look at it.
And one of their prototype trucks caught on fire.
Yeah, I saw that one for sure. I didn't read any of them. I wish I did before I got started with the day. I was trying to get our spread tracker in place, which I still want to look at. Like, we can get out of these trades at any point. I mean, you guys are already up about 23%, about $100, what, $72 so far? And we only spent 300, so, you know, we can get out at any point and then use the time to start identifying those opportunities that I was talking about, where we're finding a lot of these stocks cheap, and we can do the spread on them and find out which one would be more valuable if the markets were to reverse right now. I'm clearing about 3,700 this morning right now, 300 short of my 4K target, so. Winning.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever. Just as long as we end in green, I'm cool.
I mean, we're in green now, so if you want, I'm just messing. But
As
no,
much
that's
green
cool.
as possible.
Yes. Okay. That's now we can't be greedy. We
I
gotta
know.
stay humble, and be realistic at the same time. So looking at the spot, I'm just trying to see where we'll catch the bottoms at. Of course, you guys know about the double RSI dip. I expect this to happen. That meaning, for guys that don't know what I'm talking about, is it's gonna pop out of this downtrend. It might tap an EMA on the 1 or the 5 minute, and then ultimately go down again and continue lower. US 10-year hitting the 174, propping up green. So I want to see it break above the 175. It's going to continue to the upside and keep pulling pressure down on this, which also solidifies or verifies that we're going to have another EMA or RSI bounce. One thing that I'm seeing about RMO, though, that I'm pretty happy to see is that it hasn't really moved based on this market pullback, and that's cool. Definitely some strength. That's what you need to be evaluating. If you have any stocks that you're holding long term, you need to see how they're reacting to these market pullbacks. Of course, they're going to be down, but how are they recovering once they pick back up? Because one thing I'm seeing is the markets are pulling down and weighing down on stocks, but as the markets recover themselves and even hit all-time highs, the stocks aren't correlating, if that makes sense. So you really need to evaluate your portfolio based off that, in my opinion, if you're expecting something to be a long-term investment for you. Because people that are holding long-term don't even care about volatility in the markets because they think that their stock's going to be at a certain price point. But you can identify better opportunities versus another by doing that, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying go in your portfolio and sell everything right now and call it a day. No, I'm just saying see how your stocks are performing. I just cleared 3,700 myself. You guys should be up about 25% on the 306s. We should be up about 40% on the SPYs. So SPY is still pulling down. I expect the QQQ to follow suit. Just kind of churning just a little bit. But I don't know if you guys remember my theory that the QQQ is kind of following about an hour behind the SPY. I just cleared 400 for the day so far myself. Pretty happy with that. I could pull out of these and wait for a reversal. I'm trying my best to stay on top of identifying when that's going to come in, but we got a lot of downward pressure to deal with before that happens. And like I said, we're going to see a double RSI bounce at least on the 1 minute. So don't freak out because you see it picking back up. Now it could take off. I'm not saying that, but typically what happens in these pullbacks, when it's this hard, excuse me, is what you want to see is a double RSI dip on the 10 minute, right? So you might not see it on the 1 or the 5, but if you see it on the 10 minute, it's a very strong move to the downside. And that's basically where it comes out of oversold status on your RSI. I base my RSI settings off of the 25 and the 75 versus the defaults of 30 and the 70, because it shows a more defined oversold status, right? So on the 10 minute, you'll see it come out of RSI oversold status. That's the bottom of the RSI, below 25. It'll bounce up just a little bit, probably about 35, 40, and then it'll come back down again. It'll be a falling knife in that move. So that's where we're kind of looking at right now on the SPY itself, and as well as the QQQ. I'm gonna put the QQQ here. So people would typically jump out of this right now, okay, because they're thinking it's a reversal. They're happy with the profits they're making. That's fine. I'm not mad at you if you do. If you're able to do it, capture your gains. Don't be greedy. Call it a day. Small account challenge has been achieved. We're up 20% on our 306 and 24% give or take on the SPYs. They just broke down below 24, about 22. But like I said, I expect an RSI bounce to come in here and kick in, which I'm watching for. In these times, in the middle of an RSI bounce, you can watch it on your 15-second. And since we're looking for a potential exit moving forward, I'm going to do it on the 15-second, the 5-minute, the 10, and the 30, right? That's all I care about watching right now, because I already know what my 1 hour and 4 hours are looking like. Okay. I was up $400. I'm back down to 220, 240.
Is 315 still a good re-entry if it gets up there?
Yes, but I don't think it's coming back that high. You might see like 312. Well, we're at 312, excuse me, on the QQQ. Once 15 confirms a rebound in overbought status is typically when it reverses. So that's what I'm looking for. I can blow this up a little bit for us. As you can see, we're still seeing a lot of sell pressure. Starting to pick up on the buy. It's the orange in here. But typically you're going to see this come back down. It's going to pick up, pick up, pick up. So this is like semi-volatility within a downtrend in itself, right? What we're watching right now. Anybody on the YouTube live stream have any more questions? If you're not joining us already in this small account challenge, we're about to hit that oversold status. So what this will also tell you is your minimum of what your options are going to come land at, you know. So, and I expect this to break here shortly. There it goes. Might try to rebound off the EMAs just a little bit, but the downward pressure is going to cause it to come down. There we go. It bounced off the EMA just like I thought. And I think what we'll ultimately see is an EMA fake out, which is where it kind of goes semi-green. It might go double green, but just semi. You can see the MACD is leading. We're losing volume weighted on the volume weighted MACD and the MACD itself. We tapped the RSI about the 70. Of course, mine's at the 75. That green candlestick right there on the 15-second was like a last-ditch effort to push this back higher, I think. But ultimately, it's just going to way down here in a second. Might have a smaller bounce off the EMAs. But what we want to see is once it breaks that. Boom. There we go. So let's see. Might tap the bottom EMAs first before we continue downward, or it might just go. There we go.
Robinhood got me in at 345.
345. We bought in at 301. I bought in at 301. So we're about $40 off. But were you able to catch it above 312 was the question. because I mean you're only losing about $1 out of the $9-10 spread we identified from this morning. So that was that bounce off the EMAs I was talking about. I want to see what the longer time frames are showing. Reversal, EMA rejections, lost on the MACD, volume weighted MACD showing the same. We watched the 15-second here. It's our score for the day. We're still at a -5, so there's downward pressure on the markets. US 10-year at 140, showing signs of plateauing at these levels, but I ultimately think they're going to come a little bit higher than that. I think it's only down from here, guys. So SPY is showing momentum loss on the 1 minute, EMA rejections on the 34 on the 1 minute.
It's looking like it wants to. Looks like the SPY wants to touch those that lower EMA and then break out.
On what time frame?
I'm looking at the 1 minute.
Yeah, so I would have called this if we hit that third level EMA there and continued pushing higher. But you have to look at it from a longer time frame, about the 10, right? So it went oversold on the 10. Typically, I would be freaking out and saying, oh man, you know, I'm not going to make anything else off of this. But I expect it to do a double RSI bounce on the 10. So we might see it pick up a little bit, like I was saying. But it's really that 10 minute that we want to see that double dip. We see that there.
Can
huh?
Can you explain the double RSI dip? Like, what exactly are you seeing that?
All right, this is my RSI indicator right here, right? I'll spread it out and maximize the pan.
Yep.
All right, so I said this is actually supposed to be down here on the 25. And so that actually alludes back to my point that the double RSI dip is coming back in. This should be set to the 25. So even if you use it off the 30, it's going to bounce off of that 30 and come back down some more, which it's doing right now as we speak on the 10 minute.
So the double RSI dip that you're talking about is literally 2 dips below the bottom bar of the RSI.
Right.
Okay.
Like this is supposed to be, I guess because I'm using 4 different charts, it's not set correctly. But all right, so let's look. RSI, I have mine set at 25, right? It dipped below it. It's going to bounce up a little bit. It's going to find some resistance right here, and it's going to dip back down. And once it does that, the price actually goes further down than where it originally landed when it tapped this lowest point of the RSI.
Okay.
So, and that goes to, that applies to the upside too. It's the same thing. When you see a heavy run, you're going to see it. It's like you got to look at it as like a track meet, right? I've said this before. Somebody's running or a cross country long distance run. You can run a mile, but you're going to have to like take a gas for like half a mile before you can run another 2 miles. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
Right now we're just taking that gas, but ultimately I think the 10 years still pushing up. We're below 312. We didn't hit our support levels anyways to begin with this morning. And sell volume still higher than buying volume. It's kind of plateauing at each other, but I think that's going to be the catalyst to kind of kick this in gear and keep it pushing higher. 1 minute starting to show a round off, hitting the EMAs and getting rejected. That's the 34 EMA to be precise. And then 5 minute was going to be showing signs of a recovery, but actually it's going to be conducting its own RSI bounce, which will lead into the 10 minute, which is that heavier set. So that's my equation and how I kind of predict this kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, it's going to work out. There we go on the QQQ. Look at her. Blow. Here we go. We should be seeing that coming in now. So I was all the way back down to only 75 plus for the day. I'm already back up to 269. one thing that's confirmation of all of this movement is the fact that we're trading below our EMAs. We broke through our support level here. We're about to break another level of support right here at the 310.75. Once we do that, we're jackknifing all the way back to potentially $300 on the QQQ, man. Because there's not too many support levels on the way down. You got one on 307, and then the next one is the one at 300, pretty much. You can try to account for this gap up right here, but I'm not gonna do it. It's either the 310, 307's our reversal, or the 300, one or the other, but it's nothing more than that. We have support right here, further time frames at the 306. So I'm not even going to use the 307 in this equation. I'm going to use the 306. We're going to look at the 1075 and then the 657 next. So SPY's dying to hold up as much as it can, but I think it's about to break loose here in a second. Let's go to our full spread so we can see what's going on here. I'm still clearing about 3,600 for today, so about 300 up, close to it, 284 right now. Pretty satisfied with that. I could call it a day. My daily minimum's only $108. I'm up 3x right now on that alone. That's for people that are new here. Like that's something you need to ask yourself. If you're new here and you follow on what we're doing, where's the small account challenge? Carl, you're actually in the Discord right now that we're using. It looks like you have your mic on. I'm not sure. But that's where we're keeping track of the conversation and everything. I know we have our Facebook chat, but it's so much chatter going on in there. I wanted to give a dedicated a channel for that. So that's where we're using Discord for now. Still have a lot to set up with the Discord, so don't think it's all sparkly and stuff, but it's getting the job done. Sorry, I just saw your oh, J-Dub, man, you missed the challenge. You missed the challenge. Come on, J-Dub. You gotta be up by 7:30 every morning. That's your new requirement. You can work for yourself for the rest of your life.
I wish I'd held those puts from last night.
Who was that?
Oh, those two puts from yesterday. I wish I held them.
I'm trying to see who's. Oh, is that Justin? Yeah, you and me both, dude. But
Yeah, I sold them this morning, hoping that cash would clear, but it's not.
oh, that's weird. Options should clear next day. That's why I use them. That's super weird.
I was just looking at the QQQ. The last time it sat around 300 or 311 was last Wednesday going into Thursday. But there's nothing between that and about 297.
Right. That's what I was thinking about 300, 297, which is good in our part right now because it could bust through that 310.75 with ease, you know.
Yeah.
A SPY's already breaking down. It's sitting at 388.04. I think I'm up, about to be up 400 for the day, about to clear 3,700 right now. We're about to retest that 310.75 level. 10 minutes gonna break this down. It's really gonna bust through those levels. Yep, we just bust through them. Broke through them,
Well, I
excuse me.
made that mistake yesterday on buying that spy put.
Well, I had a rough day. You made a mistake, and we're still winning. So we must be doing something right, right? So,
Exactly.
right now, just to give everybody an update, our next level to test is 307, coming in hot, hot. And on the SPY, I haven't identified our next level there, but I was previously tracking this. I think it's around the 386.50 level. For the SPY was a level of support, but of course we've slept since then. So let's see, I'm looking at potentially the 385.33 now. Man, if I could make $700 before my day even gets started every morning like this, that'd be great. 385.16, about to break 3,800 for myself. You guys should be up 42% on those 306 puts. We were looking about 50% anyways, which kind of correlates with that 385.16. The 385.16 is a very key level on the SPY. It's played strong resistance before. I expect to see a resistance to support crossover here. So we could bounce right here and rebound to the top side. But if it does a falling knife right through those levels, then we're going back to 380, which actually is our $10 spread that we were looking for. You should be up about $123 on those options if you were able to buy them at $3 flat. And about if you bought them after that, you should still be about $70-$80. On the SPY puts, we're up $100 about. I bought 2 of them. I expect that to go 100%, hopefully. Be nice if it does. I'll go ahead and close both of them out because I think we're getting to the bottom of this channel and we can start looking for some support levels to kick in. It looks like the SPY.
So you're saying buy out of both or sell out?
Not right now.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry.
No.
I'm trying to figure out how to change my RSI settings in TradingView.
Oh, I got you. It's a gear next to the indicator name.
Yeah, I picked up the RSI. It's labeled RSI 14, but
Just
it's not
type in-
giving me the option.
No, in the search bar, type in relative strength index is what I'm using. Not
Yeah,
just
that's
the
what I
RSI
did.
symbol. Oh, okay.
Oh. Maybe I did do it wrong.
Did you find it? It looks like the spot's trying to find
Relative.
some slight support on the 387.59, but I expect the 10-minute to weigh down on that and then break through on the double RSI dip in a second. So be careful to watch for a potential reversal here if it does not conduct the double RSI dip. As soon as it does, though, and it bottoms out, which I think it's doing right now, we are seeing some momentum, some MACD volume loss on that level. I want to see if it's going to dip any further below this. It's starting to kind of concern me how it's kind of idled out here on the SPYs. I might go ahead and capture those gains. I'm watching it over here on the side, trying to see if we're seeing some. There it goes. There we go. All right, come on. Are you gonna break down? Yep, breaking down. There we go. Boom. Ow. Just hit 3,800. $200 short of my 4K target. That's what I wanted. I wasn't gonna stop till I got it. I'm glad to see it. Just about to clear 3,900. Up $590 for the day. I'll only use half of my portfolio. Just think if I use the whole thing. Anyways, not to harp on that too much. It looks like we're going to retest the 385.16. QQQ is headed to 307, 306.57 to be precise. So that's another $3 down that we have some pressure to the downside and we capture some gains. I'll be watching this very closely to see if we find any reversal off that 10-minute double RSI dip. It could rebound a little bit sooner than that, but I think the momentum shift to the downside is going to weigh down on it too much for it to pick up now. Let me look at our daily score. We should be seeing probably like a -7. Boom. So that's a crazy volatile day. We went from a +5 this morning, and we're already at a -7. It dropped 12 points across the entire day. That's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
you're the
guys,
fucking man.
Do I? Do I?
He said you're the fucking man.
Man. Winning. Motherfucking winning. I'm about to cross 3,900. Somebody give me $4. Hit my target, bruh. Come on, 385.16. Alright, we're looking like, alright. I think I'm hopping out of the spot. Let me not be premature, though. But it kind of leveled off there on me. Around the 387.52. It bounced up a little bit more. Let me see. What are we doing? 1 minute's trying to show reversal. 10 minutes showing pressure to the downside. 15. Still showing downside pressure. Hey, we might be reversing here on the SPY, guys. Might want to flip to our calls. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hop out. I think I'm hopping out. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I'll watch this with you guys, actually. Seeing some momentum loss. I'm still seeing a lot of selling pressure. That's why I'm not just jumping to hop out of this just yet. And you see that that EMA rejection too is something else I'm paying attention to. If we bounce above that third EMA, I'm hopping out of here. It's right around 388. Yeah, I think this is support, the intraday support we might route off of. The 10-year pulled down a little bit. I want to see what the momentum is on it. If we're going to keep pushing to the upside. Looks like it's about to break down. Let's go ahead and sell this stuff. Get out of your spies.
All of it?
I think so.
All right.
Let's not be great. Let's not be greedy about it, you know?
All right, I sold out of my SPY. You're saying keep the QQQ?
I'm probably getting out of it too. It's at 310. I'm getting out of all of it.
All right.
I think the 10 years about to flip on us, and then the rest of the market's going to follow on back to the upside. Like I said, you see a -10, and that's about it. Or a -7, and that's about the deepest it ever goes. So I'm just going to be satisfied with it, man. It's a Friday. I wasn't expecting on winning anything this large, this quick. And I'm actually about to start seeing what calls we can buy if anybody has the ability to buy the calls.
So I put this morning in a 390 put on SPY, and I don't have a day trade, so I'm going to write it out. But I also just bought a call, a 388 call.
I'm buying a 3987 call. I'll make $50 on the move back up. I want to make sure that it's going to do that first, though. Now, guys, don't hate me if we sold this a little premature, but I'd rather us go ahead and secure those gains. How much did y'all win? If you go ahead and put that in the call.
So Robinhood is telling me that I don't have enough collateral to sell my SPY put.
Oh, man, dude. Fuck. Excuse me.
No, I'm right there with you.
Oh, man. I don't even have that thing, and man. All right.
So am I fucked on this?
Let's watch the language. But
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
you're fine. I slip every now and then too, but don't know, man. You might want to call customer support, but I don't even think you can do that, huh?
No, you can't.
Yeah. Okay. Don't know what to tell you on that Accord, bro. I really don't. That sucks because this is reversing quick. I'm slow on getting my options bought. I'm buying the 310 in the money calls for the QQQ. I'm gonna make sure I'm not buying it premature though, too soon. SPY is rounding off. Hey, did we already buy calls, Jeff? You already bought your calls?
Yeah, I bought a 388, 324 call.
Yeah, I think you're safe there. I'm
I
buying
just bought that because I can't get out of the 390 put because it would be a day trade, and I don't have a day trade left. So I figured I'll make it up at the back end of it.
Oh man, that sucks.
All right, money, man, you got to play with it.
I know. At least we're winning, right?
Yep, I'm not worried about it.
Okay. I just tried to buy the QQQs, 310s. They're not filling my order on TDA. TDA has lag sometimes though. What did I put my order in for? 591 and it's not filling? Or no, it's at 590. Oh, I need to hurry up and buy it. That's what that means. So it looks like I'll be able to buy a I'm gonna buy in the money call on SPY, which it just filled, and in the money on QQQ on these reversals back to the upside. Hopefully it jumps like $6 back to the upside. There we go. Or actually, I got more money. I can buy some more. Why not? Why not?
What was the play?
Buying some 310. Let me see if I can get you a cheaper one. I'm spending about $600 on a 310 in the money call for the QQQ, and I'm looking at the SPY now to find out what I'm gonna buy on it. But I might be a little late on getting in, which I'm not worried about. I think this is going back up for the most part of the day.
On March 26th?
Yeah. Oh, my computer. I got too much going on this thing. All right, so check this out. I can buy about 4 of these contracts on the SPY for about $900, and the money calls at 388, and that's 3 days out for Monday. Ride these all the way back up. I'm gonna do it. That's 4 times 44. That might be a little bit high. I'm gonna get 3 of them. I can get 3 of them. Let me do the math real quick. Little munchkin been sleeping in my lap this whole time. 960. Oh, somebody let me get $40. Oh, it's funny. 913.
So you bought a 310 call for March 26th for QQQ?
Yeah, I did. 918 divided by 4. I need this to come down to like 229. You know what?
I really don't understand. I don't understand this.
I mean, neither, bro. That's crazy. Crazy.
It's saying that it received an order to sell to close one contract.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still showing that I'm holding it.
Oh, that just means it didn't fill, so you got to replace the order with another order. I wish you would have said
Yeah,
that
hit
before.
the cancel and get out of that order, and then try to
Silly.
redo the order.
Yeah, you're in a churn zone right now, so you might be able to capture some of those gains.
All right, so what do I do?
Just cancel the order, and then go to sell the contract again.
Oh, okay. Cancel the order.
Yeah.
Cancel the order.
If you need to look the order back into SPY and scroll down, you'll see the order sitting there. Andy.
I see it. I see it now. So trade, sell. I have one contract available. Sell that. Review. Yeah. QQQ long put order placed.
So you're good to go.
I guess.
Did it fill? Is the next question.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool, man.
All right, so I just got back into my calls. I have 388 March 22 calls on the SPY. I bought for about 250 a piece, 247 to be exact, or 245. And I have one QQQ that I bought for what was it? What did I spend on that? 593. So this is why I split my account in half. Because now on this rebound, I expect to come in. I think we bottomed for sure. US 10-year is potentially going to pull back. Might have had like I think it ran too quick, so it'll pull back a little bit. I'm going to try to capture some gains while it does. As soon as I see it start to pop up again, I'm going to probably get out of these calls. I'm not sure who hopped in these calls with me. If you could let me know on the Discord call, that'd be great. That way I can keep up with all that. I see people are still on the YouTube feed. I forgot I was still on YouTube. Mr. Challenge, I've been on here since start. Fell asleep for a bit. Sold some two last night. Don't feel bad, Steven. $4 incoming. It'll be there next in the 4 to 5 business days. $40. What are you talking about, Michael?
I jumped in the QQQ.
Okay, you're in the QQQ with me. Michael, what
Yeah,
are you talking
man,
about, bro?
I fell asleep early.
No, you're fine, bro.
Man, I was up too. That was crazy. I was in the channel before you got in.
So yeah, good calls. I think we're pretty good. What I want to start to see is the 10-minute start to round up. Boom, there it is. All right, same thing on the QQQ. It typically follows behind a little slow, but whatever. Let's see. So I honestly could just walk away from my desk right now. I'm already up another $72 on those, and it's just gonna bounce. I think there's a lot of pent up demand on people making some money or averaging down, waiting for a bottom. So I think, yep, that double dip played to our advantage. I don't think it's gonna dip. I've never seen a triple dip So, don't expect it to happen. Look at that SPY. That thing's dying to break. I should have probably waited for this EMA confirmation right here. And let it go green first before I bought my calls. But I'm only $88 below my goal. So I'm not going to be greedy about it with these. Unless I see continued signals moving to the outside for the most part. But I think we bottomed out for sure. I'm going to be watching the lower time frames throughout the day.
Man, that sucks. I lost 25 bucks on those QQQ putts because of that little fucking sell snafu.
Hey man, there's always the next day, right? So
Yeah.
we're expected to keep winning. It's not about just winning today. It's consistently winning to some degree,
Right.
even if it's $100 a day.
So Tim, I'm out of moves for the rest of for the next 5-day period until I can get my TD shit worked out. So in that meantime, do you think that it's a good idea to pick up that NVIDIA that I sold, or just hang on to this?
What are we doing? Boom, up another 170 bucks. Somebody give me $25 and I'll be above 4K.
Hey, Tim, somebody asked if you're away from the computer.
Alright, just cleared 389 on the SPY. QQQ is about to clear 312. Come on, man. You're playing with my emotions. I'm right there at 4K. Come on.
Somebody asked a question for away.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, that was me. So I was curious as to whether or not you thought it'd be a good idea to pick up that NVIDIA stock that I sold this morning to fund today. Or should I just let the whole thing ride and
Yeah, just hold on to it. Just hold on to
all
it.
right.
I expected a slaughterhouse today, actually. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be as bad as I thought that was going to be. So,
Yeah.
And the reason I said that is so that you could at least, you're only down on your NVIDIA call $20, right? So hopping
Right.
into it just a little bit lower wouldn't be a difference. I mean, it's such a high price stock that you could probably get it much cheaper if you hopped into it and with free cash at the same time. So that's where that recommendation came from. I'm gonna see how we react to the 389 50s, because this could do an EMA round off, right? That fake out basically is what I'm alluding to here. Currently up $172 on those calls. Um, Up 109 on my spies, but I got 3 of them, so really about $30 each. And then $54. I'm just shy of my 4K goal. Um, if the markets keep showing signs back to the upside, I'll hold it until I see otherwise. Uh, US 10 year just broke below 173, which is what I wanted to see. We're seeing some buying coming into the SPY. Looks like we're having some issues staying above that 389 level though, so I'm going to watch that as well. For the most part though, I'm seeing strong momentum on the 5-minute. As far as the MACD and RSI and volume weighted MACD are showing 10 minutes going to round up, so expect the 30-minute to follow suit here shortly. I'm gonna definitely be seeing where I can find the bottom of the 10 year. As you can see, the 10-minute on it is showing downward signals. What's the SPY doing, bro? Quit playing with my emotions. Go ahead, hit that EMA and bounce. All right, so who's in, who's out right now? Is it just me and you, J-Dub, right now?
Yeah, because I missed out the other ones. It's the only
Yeah.
play I'm in right now.
Got you.
I'm completely out of everything, and I'm officially 120% over the initial 200.
Word.
No, I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm at 285 profit.
So
whatever that is, I gotta go get another coffee before I do the math.
that's about 44%.
Oh, sweet. So 144% above.
Wait, you're at 288 profit?
I'm at my total balance for the account is 485.
Oh snap.
So
Yeah. So that's like 144%.
yep.
Winning.
144% in 3 trades, dude.
Winning. Bow.
Yeah.
Winning.
You can
Bow.
you'll
Bow.
expect a
Winning.
Christmas card from my family this year.
I'll shoot you my P.O. box. Oh, winning. Okay.
I couldn't get in on that last call, but I picked one up out of the money, like 314. I'm up like 25 bucks or something.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.
Cool. Guess what? My RMO is going positive for the day. Yay. Maybe that can be the last little bit of change I need to clear 4K, man. Like, I wouldn't mind hopping out of these trades right now. Starting to get some concern here. Actually, I think I'm gonna. I'm thinking about getting out of here, bro. Looks like we're having some momentum loss. Like it just stopped. I expected this to explode. It might be an EMA breakout or fake out. Looks like it's gonna break out, but it ain't. Let's see. We gonna see. Although the 10 minutes showing that we'll keep pushing. I'm starting to wonder if that secondary dip was not the actual secondary dip. Let me check the live stream too. I know you guys are over here talking to me. I took out a loan to send you another $25. It should be there eventually. Did you send it in the mail? Because a lot of the stuff that we're getting in the mail is like taking 3 weeks to get here. So it'll be there in 4 to 5 businesses. Oh, thank you. I got you. You're already on point. You already know, Mike. All right, what's going on? We're at 312 on QQQs. Like I said though, it looked like we kind of stopped out a little bit there on the SPY, and that really kind of caught my attention. 30-minute on the QQQs not looking too sweet either. Let's see, what are we doing here? This is the 4 hour. I need to see the 1 minute here. I need to see the 5 minute over here. I'm looking at this wrong. Okay, that's why. Woo. Starting to concern me there a little bit there, but I mean 30 minutes still not looking too clean. 10 minute looks good though. Expecting a hard bounce of the 1 minute, so it's concerning me. Little concerning. Let's see. Man, can I just get 4K and call it a day and like just move on? Like this is a perfect day too, because I have so much stuff scheduled to knock out today. Come on, bruh. What are we doing? I guess we can watch the SPY because the SPY is QQQ's kind of following suit. You see how we're having these? It's trading along this EMA. I'm about to hop out of here. I'm getting out, J-Dub. I'm gonna take my losses, bro. I have about $182 to play with. I could probably do another put here in a second, but I think this is about to really do that secondary 10-minute double dip on me. I'm watching for it though. I'm trying to hold on. No, it's not happening.
Yeah, I'm in the QQQ.
The same's about to happen there.
All right.
Yeah, it's dropping. All right. Let me not be premature here. Cause I just broke below 3,900 and I'm not okay with that. Let me not be premature. Come on. I think the 10 minutes gonna weigh on it a little bit. That's what I'm shooting for. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna step outside and smoke a cigarette and calm my nerves down. I'll be back.
Hey man, I heard that flick.
to. Still above 3,800, so I'm not complaining. Alright, so for you guys on the live stream, I'm going to go ahead and show you what we're watching down here. We're watching the 15-second right here, and this is what I'm seeing. I'm going to hop back on the Discord call so you guys can see my screen again. Where's my share button? Share screen. Yeah, so we're going green on the 15 second, so I expect the 1 minute to follow. Once we get that confirmation that we aren't doing another dip on the 10 minute on the RSI, it might bounce right off the top of that level and keep pushing, but oh no, that EMA rejection is really irritating me. Somebody call up all the retail investors and say just buy the SPY or something for me. Put all your money in the SPY. Where am I at? I'm below 3,800 now. I'm down about $41 overall. My QQQs are still winning though because I bought so deep in the money on those. I bought 310 calls on those. We're at 311 right now. I really want to see this breakthrough. It looks like it's going to. The 1 minute's trying to pick up a little bit, so let's see. Come on with it. Come on with it. I need to see the 5 minute too. So I'm going to look at the 15 second, the 5, and the 10 minute here. And kind of get an idea of where we're looking at. Yeah, you see that EMA rejection? And then I'll look at the 10 minute over here. I'm not even sure if people are still on the gotcha calling up the retail investors now. Thank you. GRIL. Give me a second, Erica. We'll look in just a second. Because I'm actively in this trade. So I'm expecting good things. Boom! That phone call came through for me, bro. Thank you. I'll look on the side here for GRIL. There we go. Back to the greens we go. Okay. Back above 3,900 that quick. Cool. GRIL. 4 hour is not looking good on GRIL. Looks like it's going to come down because the markets are weighing down. But it could reverse here. So let me see. Let me see the 1 hour on it. I'll show you guys here in a minute as soon as I confirm we're going back to the upside. Let me see the 30. Or let me do it this way. Let me just do it. Or you know what? This is what I'll do. Start a new tab. Yeah, I think we're picking up about $131, $43. Well, about 3 of those contracts. So I'm up about $13 on per contract right now. Boom. Headed for 4K. I know you got me, bro. I need to catch up with you on some updates for the DD database that I have coming in play. For the most part, as long as this continues to the upside, I'm going to be looking forward to using our my new spread tracker system that I have in here. I'll be testing it for the most part. What I'm going to look at in that accord, in regards to that, is I'm going to be looking at liquidity stocks. And basically that's us seeing the most money go into these stocks, right? Going into next week. So I know people can't really buy into them right now. So what I'm looking at right now is AMC has the most liquidity for the day, or PLTR actually has the most liquidity for the day. I'm going to go ahead and snatch some PLTRs while I'm free. I might do some options on it. Let's see. PLTR. I think the reversal is complete. Confirmed. I'm now about to clear 4K. Boom. $9 away. Come on. You can do it. $2 away. 4K. Bam. All right. Now I'm back down $8. Damn it. Or, excuse me. everyone. All right, PL or TR calls. Looking at, I have like 182 to spend, so I gotta do some $26 calls, make $45 per dollar. I don't know how good that's gonna weigh out. Let's see, can I buy those? No, I need this at 181. I'm looking at the out of the money calls. 326, I'm sorry, April 23rd, $26 strikes. Doesn't look like it's gonna come down to my level. Get up on my level. Come on, 4K, $2, bam, 4K again. Okay, cool. GRIL though, I'll show you what I'm looking at there, on the side. And I keep tapping that 4K level. I'm probably just gonna have to close this out so I can lock it in. Just to call it a day. Or I could keep making money on the way up. I don't know. We're at 313 on the QQQ. About the top 389 on the SPY. Looks like it might have some rejections here though. So let me get above 4K and I'll sell it. I don't know if I'm gonna sell it though. The 10-minute looks very sweet right now for a prop up. I know the market's hungry to be green in some degree. Down $10. Come on. Break 389 and just take off for me. Do it. Do it. Do it. Please. Do it. I'm gonna give it about 20 more minutes before I sell. Right at 4K now. So hell, excuse me again. I might be able to break 4,500 by the end of the day if this takes off.
Up 5.5.
Huh?
How it's up 5.5.
5.5. You know, I did an alert on it the other day. Of course, all my alerts for March were kind of getting slaughtered by these pullbacks. I'm really looking at being reserved on my trade alerts and just doing these live streams with you guys on options, and we capture gains this way. Right at 4K, I can't sell them right quick because you got to account for the 60-cent charges for the option sales, and I got 4 to sell, so it's like what, $2.40. I need to be at 4,240 cents, and I'll sell.
Yeah, I'm up 95.
See what I'm talking about? Bow, winning. All right. So I'm up 182, 190 right now. Just crossed 4K again at 403. We bounced right off of the EMAs on the 15-second, broke above the 309, breaking above 313. I really could just follow the SPY and expect the QQQ to follow. Let me confirm that. We're going green on the 10-minute, but we might see some EMA rejections here. I want to see it above these EMAs on the 10-minute, and then I'll let this ride for the rest of the day. If I don't, then I'm going to go ahead and hop out where I'm at. We're breaking above the 34 EMA right now. I'm at $4,020 for the day. So coming up on $721 overall today alone. I want to see how it reacts to that 315. Look at that. Our resistance level is 313.15 now. We need to break above that. As soon as we see it surge above it, I think we'll really take off. If it doesn't and we just churn sideways on it, then I think it's going to pull back down on us. But I really wanted to see. There it goes. Boom. Broke it. Cool. That works. Anyways, what was I doing? Oh, I was doing a liquidity stock scanner. That's right. PLTR, I was looking at buying those options. I think I already missed the opportunity to do it. Yeah, I did. Well above where I could have bought it. Blech. I could buy some 26.5. What I want to do is find support above 313.15 now. Even though it's breaking out, I still want that support, and I want the EMA confirmations above the EMA. Otherwise, we're just going to be bouncing off of this. I might sell these in a minute here. I'm up to $4,055 right now. But if I can make more money, I'll let it. I'm not going to cut myself short. But I'm not going to be greedy either. So try to stay humble. Try to stay reserved. The cigarette did help, so Excuse me, once again. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we gonna break above it and stay above it, or are we gonna play around? I'm gonna watch this on the lower time frames. 15. 5 minute. Want this on the 15. So we broke that 34 EMA so far. I'm gonna be watching the 15 to see if we break down below the EMAs at all. That'll probably be my sell, but as you can see, it's rounding off, so I want to see what happens here. It's really overbought, excuse me, correction. So I think we might teeter around these 315. I keep saying 315, 313 15s for the most part, and probably idle out. But I'm about to clear 4100 right now, so I'm just kind of waiting to see. 10 minutes still looking strong. Looks like we're finding some slight support there. I'm gonna look at it from the 10 minute over here now. The 1 minute, I mean the 5 right here, and then the 1 minute, so I can see what we're looking like overall. Yeah, see, we're seeing some rejections there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of this.
The QQQ.
I think so, man. I mean, me personally, I think I'm.
It's like a head and shoulders being formed on the 1 minute.
Yeah. I'm still watching though, because we can do it. You remember that double RSI bounce I was telling you about? We can see that on the 15-second here in a second.
Yeah.
But the 1 minute's showing loss, so I don't know. It might be a short loss and a double dip RSI on it too. So I don't want to be premature. I'm up 4,000, up to 4,044, 35 now. Let me see. I was looking up grill here too. So once I complete these trades, I'll probably hop off of the live stream, and we can sit on the Discord, and I can kind of show you how I'm gonna have that spread tracker set up. Basically, like if you're late to the conversation on that Accord, what I'm looking to do is basically find the largest spreads of recovery, if that makes sense, in all of the liquidity stocks that are seeing the most money, and then look at potentially making positions in them next week, as long as we confirm that the markets are moving back up. So to look at GRIL, I'm looking at the 4 hour, the daily, excuse me. I'm looking at the 4 hour, and then I'm looking at the 1 and the 30. Now my scanners are built off of these, so I look at these all the time. As far as GRIL goes, hold on, I still gotta watch this trade because it's doing some weird stuff. Alright, having some rejections again. See, we might see some MACD momentum loss. We might see more so of a head and shoulders on the MACD versus the actual chart. It might not dive as deep. But I'm not going below 4,000, I'll tell you that much. That was my goal. I hit it. I'm not going to be greedy about it. Another thing that I'm looking for is the EMA confirmation of support above the 55. If it breaks below that, then I am selling. So just give me a second. I can get out of these trades. Yeah, we're breaking down. I'm hopping out. Go ahead and take my wins. Do I really want to? Yes, I do. Because I'm cool with it. Alright. And I'm selling my spies. What's that old saying? You live to fight to see another day or something like that? That's fine with me. Just closed everything. The only thing I have open left is my long-term RMO hold. And it's currently up $6 today. That could have been premature. It could have not been, but I really don't care. Anyways, I hope everybody was able to make some gains today. Overall, whether you were on both sides of the trade or even, just one-sided. Looks like I'm topping out at about $723. This is my third $700 day, and I can live with that. It's all about consistency. That's what we're doing here. Oh man, oh yeah, I probably was wise because the US 10-year is bouncing up again on the 5 minute. So I'm feeling a little bit better about getting out of here. RMO is gonna pull me down a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to pull me below 4K. As far as Grill, I'm not sure if Erica's even here anymore at this point. If you can let me know in the chat who's all in the YouTube stream, just hit me up on the chat or on Facebook, or if you're in the Discord. I know the Discord people are watching this through Discord. I'm seeing some people. Is there a paper trading account on Webull? Found it. I'm in QQQ. Cool. I don't know if Invest 314 is. Let me make sure he's not getting left behind, because he's not in the call. I'm not sure if he's on the stream. Like I said, that's why I need to know who I'm talking to in the stream. A live stream, that is. Alright, so looking at Grill, just to give you some insight on it, this is what I'm looking at. We're having some momentum loss on the daily. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. The markets have been pulling back. The 4-hour tells the story. So what you need to see is support right here, where it's at the 235 level. It needs to stay above there. Now that I identified my key level of support that we need to find after this breakout, so and I want to go in depth on that a little bit more, right? So I'm going to pull my indicators out so that we're just looking at the actual trade real quick, just so I can give you some insight. I'm not sure if you're still here or not, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Keep my drawings in there and not my indicators. Okay, so it hit this resistance level here, and I'm going to redo this for everybody that's watching. It hit this resistance level. That's a key level now. That's 235. It rounded down, rounded off, and gapped up above it. All right, and it found support until it finally took off, right? All right, so the next level that I'm looking at of rejection is around the 338. That's my midline resistance, okay? And then my top level, of course, is where it stopped out at. So 432, and then even its peak I'll account for. Now, what this just developed for us is what you call price ranges that we're trading within. As long as it stays above 235, you found your support, but with the markets pulling back over the past 2 days, that's why it broke through support. So we'll go through a lot of these trades looking at these charts, and then it depends on where we're at in the markets, how the stocks are going to react to their key levels of support. So the market can be up one day and we identify this lower level of support, and then it pulls back down and it breaks down. But as the markets are currently pulling back up slowly, I probably was premature on selling my stuff, but whatever. Man, I'm really gonna get irritated if I look at the end of the day and I missed out on another $1,000 or something crazy again. But anyways, back to this. Looking at this chart here, you want to get back above 235. Once it does, that's confirmation you're still in this bullish trend that it's in. That bullish trend being this right here. You go to your lowest level of rejection, and right there, right? So you want to see it bounce back above the 235, hit this long-term trend. You can expect it to go back to 338. That gives you about $1 jump, which is almost near 40 to 50% on the swing trade. So definitely something to pay attention on, Grill. I'm not sure if you're still in the chat. If you can let me know, Erica, or if you're still on the stream. But you can always review this later. Now, go to YouTube. I'm not hearing any volume in Discord. Can you guys hear me on Discord?
Yeah, I hear you.
I hear you just fine.
Okay. Then it sounds, Carl, it sounds like Carl, it may be your audio settings in Discord. Look at the bottom.
If he's trying to do it all on his phone, it doesn't work
yeah.
well if you have YouTube and Discord open.
Right. So what are the markets doing? They're still popping, man. Look at it go. Oh no. It better come down and make me feel better about what just happened. at this point. Of course, it's better for you guys that are holding long terms. I'm not holding anything long term right now. Except for Armo. Yeah, it looks like it's having some rejection, so I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, I just took like a $75 gain. I'm mad that I fucking fell asleep. My phone on language.
It's fine, baby. Oh, what's up? Sorry, I was talking to my wife.
No, I'm saying I took a $75 gain. I was just mad. I didn't take I fell asleep earlier. So I didn't
Oh,
get to
gotcha.
play. So
Yeah.
small channel. So this is still towards the small channel.
All right. So back to the markets right quick. What I'm expecting to happen, the fact that we're having so much issues around the 313.15, I'm expecting a fake breakout on the EMAs, meaning this 13 EMA that's on the bottom is going to cross up, tap the 34, and the markets are going to come back down. This is probably your only opportunity to reposition your portfolios if you're going to. As you can see, it's already breaking down now. Why I say that is because you can probably get into some of your positions at cheaper prices. I know that may consist of taking losses, but you could take losses even deeper if you hold. And the reason I'm saying this is, the only reason I'm ever suggesting this at this point is because the markets are continuing to push down, and even on their reversals, these stocks are not coming back up where they were before the markets came down. So, like, markets came down today, your stock may have been at a certain price yesterday. Well, it's only recovering a certain percentage, and that's really why another reason I wanted to do the spread tracker is to identify the recovery at the same time. It's about the recovery spread. So what I'm going to be tracking is the current market price. I'm going to be doing tech analysis on all of the all of the stocks we'll be looking at, and then from there, I'll do an update on that initial tracking of it, and then we can update where the market price is at that time of the next downward turn in the markets, and we can gain the ability, the analytics basically, to track whether or not these stocks are recovering. And if they're not, then you might want to reconsider even being in them, at least right now, because there is a market correction that still looms in my eyes. We broke out of the recovery trend because the markets were pumped up, and I can look at it on the SPY with you guys. I want to take a second before I hop off the live stream to show you what I found, and it was kind of significant and concerning at the same time. And so if I'm looking at it, let me add my drawings in. Where are my drawings at? You know what? I had my drawings on there, so doesn't look like it's gonna. If I'm looking at it on the daily, I think it was, or was it the monthly? No, or the weekly. Let me see. Where did I find it at? Oh no, this is the QQQ. That's why. All right. I wanted to go to the SPY actually. Alright, yeah, I already had it charted out. So, there was something I found the other day. Was it on the daily? That really concerned me. Or the monthly. What was it? There was a period in like November, real quick. So you can kind of see them a little bit better. Alright? This was the natural growth of the U.S. economy. Alright? I'm gonna get these drawings out of here too. We'll do them again later. So you can kind of see what I'm looking at. And I'll pull my indicators out as well. So we can get a clearer picture of what I'm looking at. Indicators out. Alright. This orange trend was the natural growth of the U.S. market since 2018. 2019, we saw a dip. Or right at the beginning of 2019, we saw a dip and we traded below it, right? And even when it recovered from that dip, it came back to its true growth trend, right? About mid-August, we came back. Yeah, what's up?
I am. I'm just playing around.
Huh? Okay, so about August, we actually reached our true growth trend in the U.S. markets, which is supposed to symbolize the U.S. economy, right? And we broke down a little bit in that September dip. I'm not sure if you guys remember. We tried to recover again, broke back down. And this is the COVID pandemic, right? What concerns me is that right here in November, like I said, we gapped up above it and the market was pumped all the way up here. So the true growth of the economy, in my perception, based on what the chart is telling me, is actually between the 350s and the 370s. And I think we're going to have issues with the current rotations up and down until we get back to our original growth trend. Now, you can say it's the administration that's in place or whatever you want to make political about it. But in economics, and when I look at it from an economic standpoint, Wall Street needs to match up with Main Street. All this extra stuff that's going on is setting us up for failure. So if you're ever wondering why you're buying into stocks and they're going down, that's why. And until we correct ourselves properly, which honestly a 10% correction would be near correction. It's a little bit lower, so it might dip. I wouldn't even say 10%, maybe even 7%. Until we get that correction in place and we're in our natural growth trend, nothing's going to be stable. So that alludes back to my point of doing the spread tracker to determine the recovery rates of these stocks and identifying which ones will make it through that correction when and if it ever even comes. And those are the ones you want to be in once the correction occurs. Now, I'm not predicting when it's going to happen, but I think it should happen. I'm not sure how everybody feels on that thought process, but I at least wanted to just share it with everybody because it can be some disappointing days if you have this perception that you can just hold something forever. Now, there was a report that somebody shared on the Facebook group that came from Bank of America, I think it was. And they said it's 3 pillars of a bullish market. They were talking about how there's continued earnings report growth, liquidity coming into the markets, and there was a third one, I can't remember what it was. But
Yeah, it sound like a setup.
Huh?
Sound like a setup.
Well, you got to think about this too. All of 2020, most companies didn't even have projections in their earnings reports, like their expectations. So what that set up was you can show better earnings than expected when you have no expectations.
Exactly, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I feel like that's the setup, you know?
Right. So you can try to make it political and say it's the administrations. It was the last administration that pumped it up, which I feel like it was personally. But to erase that out of the whole equation, if you base it just off of that simple fact that a lot of companies didn't even have expectations drawn up for their earnings reports and they were just pushing numbers out and people thought they were fantastic, then, of course you can compare those earnings to last year and stuff like that, but,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something that I want to make people aware of and to be careful of, because we're really honestly topping out about 393 on the spot. And when you're at all-time highs, that's a ceiling. That's a new ceiling that is defined. And it's going to take a lot to push through that. And it's going to be easier to come down than it is to go up. And if anything, this right here, this orange top line trend, is what I call the glass floor we've been building this whole time. That we can break right through. And I think when it does break, it's going to cause some pain. So that's why I'm being kind of caught. That's why I don't have a long term. Huh?
You think it's gonna be? You got a feeling like it will reverse? Because I was like looking at put options.
Do I have a feeling it's going to be worse?
Not reverse.
Reverse? Like where it bounces off of there and keeps pushing up? What do you mean?
Yeah. Bounces off and keep pushing down.
Oh, so bounces off what? This level right here around the 393? Or this top line natural growth trend.
The natural growth trend.
I think that it's going to it's going to slowly, if anything, it'll slowly make its way down. And it's going to be a slow bleed out versus just a bloody day, right?
Yeah.
What we're looking at is a compression zone right here. And this is just a thesis now. Don't hang me for saying this. But
No, of course not.
so right here to right there, compression zone, and then you have another one right here to about right there. So two different compression zones that are going to be telling. They're going to tell the story, whether I'm right or wrong. But if we continue trading sideways on the all-time highs around the I know the all-time high is the 398 and some change or whatever. But if we keep trading below the 393, it's going to play more into this compression zone. And the fact that we're already topped out, it's more likely that we come down. And even if it's soft, like, it doesn't have to be a hard come down. I'm not trying to say that this is just gonna crash, but I'm just saying it needs to correct properly back into its natural growth trend. So we need to break out of this COVID trend that we've been in, and come back to its natural growth. And I think once we do that, we can have more stability in the markets. It matches Main Street, and the companies you invest in will actually go back to the growth stocks that they were before. So just something I wanted to share with you guys. Anybody got any stocks they want to look at? I think I'm going to hop over to the Discord call here in a little bit and start working on the Discord call has basically become the small group challenge chat or voice chat. You're more than welcome to join us over there. But for the most part, we'll be doing the spread tracker. I wanted to do it this morning, but we got straight into trading. And I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to get into the markets until like 9-10 o'clock. I'm not sure what time it is right now. I haven't been keeping up with. It's 10 o'clock now. So, and I said that the markets were going to pick up about 10 o'clock. We could catch it at its peak and then follow it on the way down. And I want to see how on point we would have been there. So let's look back at our levels. Now I have to get rid of these things. How do I? Let me see. Give me a second. I'm gonna take these out. I'm gonna keep them in there for future reference. Go ahead and make a group for them. Compression zones. So we can refer back to them later. But what I want to look at now is if we made a good sell or not. And for the most part, I'm pretty comfortable with selling when I did, because we were seeing some momentum loss on the 5-minute. We're seeing some potential loss on the 10-minute. I'm expecting to. So it looks like it's rounding off nicely, but I don't know. They
When
can
you get a
push
chance,
higher.
can you check SOL? SOL?
SOL. Yeah, sure. So 30-minute. Let's see what it's looking like right here. They might bounce up, but you know what? I'm glad I'm going into the rest of the day not having to worry about it anymore. And I hit my target for the week. I can't even believe, to be honest with you, I can't even believe I hit my target to the T.
I got 4 SPY options.
Yeah. What do you have? What are they? Are
2
they calls or
and 2
put?
puts.
Yeah. So it's almost like a spread you got going on.
Yeah, it's the only way I can keep my gains with no day trades.
Well, I'm seeing some EMA rejections on the SPY right now. Just to give you a heads up, those calls, which you've been holding your calls since yesterday, right? Or did you?
No, I had a put since yesterday.
I mean, yeah, you've been holding your puts since yesterday?
No, I sold it when we
Okay.
first looked at that bottom
Yeah, got you.
and switched to calls, so I locked in those gains.
Cool. Cool. Let me pull this out so we can see. Or matter of fact, I'm not even gonna mess with this chart. I'm gonna look at this one. You said SOL?
Yes. No. Yeah, that's all. That's the one the solar company that I wrote about.
Oh yeah. I think we've looked at it before, from what it looks like. I already have some drawings in it. Or
Oh, yeah,
I've
because I
looked at
had
it
it
before.
before. I bought it at 20, like on February. Then right before the dip, I
Yeah.
sold like at 24 and change.
It has earnings today, so watch out. Just because it does well doesn't mean it's gonna bounce. I think SNDL and even Nokia for that matter. I had a lot riding on Nokia, and a lot. I think I went all in on Nokia thinking they were just gonna be amazing, and they had a good call. But once it dropped like 20 cents, it dropped 20 cents and my options almost went worthless. Like, it was crazy. I had nothing but options, and I think I had like 1,000 shares on it or 600 shares or something crazy. But it was nuts to watch, and that kind of, it was a learning situation for sure.
No, I
But
still haven't got into sold. I was just looking to get in a position. So I'm
so
seeing all that, like institutions, they bought 10 million shares at 25.
yeah. I remember you saying
So
that
they
at
actually,
$25.
yeah, so like they actually thought the stock was worth at 25.
Well, I would see when they bought them, okay, and compare that date to now. How many institutional holders are in it? And if you see a percentage loss, then they probably got out of here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, something to watch out. On the daily, it's setting up properly. I like it at the 13. Um, I think I would wait till Monday. Might be a little bit higher than 13 by Monday. Um, but earnings is today, and I want to see. Let me get you a time. If it was this morning,
I think it's after hours.
it's after hours. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that could be concerning. Yeah, it looks like it's after hours. So I would kind of wait. I don't want to advise anything
Yeah,
to
I
you
was
that
waiting
sets
for the
you up.
same thing.
Yeah, but
But usually it feel like it pumps up right
Mhm.
before the earnings.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah, people buy into the expectation and sell the news.
Yeah.
So like even with Zomedica, everybody's looking at this product release. What's going to discourage them is that people are going to sell it once it releases, right? And then once it bottoms out, from there it's going to have its natural growth into revenue, and how they report that revenue. If that makes sense,
See,
right?
I'm still holding Zomedica on my girl's account. It's like
Yeah.
I think it's an average of like 106 or something like that.
Oh, then I think you're in there good, because
Yeah,
yeah,
but that
you're
was
okay.
like that was like 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, something like that.
Yeah. So you can, like, if you're positioned like that, that's one thing. It's hard to be try to be an analyst about anything when you don't know everybody's perspective at what you're looking at together, right? And that's why I'm always like, tell me what your price average is. If you want me
Yeah,
to look at a
definitely.
stock, let me know what your price average is, so I can base it off of that thought process, um, and not mislead anybody or anything like that, because that's not my goal at all.
And I got her with her account, Churchville, whatever.
Churchill,
CCIV,
yeah.
CCIV. I
Uh-huh.
got it at $17.
Oh man. And I think it's holding
Yeah,
up at like what, 23, 24 right now.
yeah. Nah, but she could have lost. She just kept holding shit. Like she just holding it. I told her
Yeah.
a long time ago to sell it.
I want to point
She
out something
eventually.
real quick, right? So my ultimate goal with you guys is getting your small accounts up together as a team. Um, but once you reach like a certain level, like that changes the game. It changes what you can utilize buying power for, right? So we can do with this type of move. Say we get to like 5, 10,000 each person over the course, and I'm 3 weeks in, and I'm already at 4K. You guys actually started at $100 higher than me. So it took a lot of work that first week just to build $100, you know what I mean, to 200. Then once I got it up to like 300, it was a little bit easier because I was able to buy the in money calls. Anytime you do any calls, you want to make at least $50 one direction, right? But what you have to understand is some of those calls that are in the money are like $1,000. You know what I mean? So is it really worth that? Just to make $50 for per dollar move, and then you got to account for how long is it going to take for that dollar move to happen, and how many dollars can it move over a certain time frame. So then you got to consider your theta decay, your vega increase of the theta decay day over day. Um, is the gamma worth the hold on the next dollar up? You know what I mean? So like if I'm making $50 off the first dollar, am I gonna make 60 or 75? Like, so it's just things you got to consider when you start going into like individual stocks and options on them. You want your expiration date as far as you can afford it. So that's really why I wanted to build these small accounts in this challenge as a group, in order to from there uh, increase the buying power, to then allow you to increase the hold on the stocks that you want to put options on, that you have an equity stake maybe in another account with, right? So then you can use the option to utilize the profits to basically make your equity stake for the long-term hold free cash. The market gave it to you, basically. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for anybody that's new to it, I wanted to take a second to catch everybody up on what the goal is here. It's basically utilizing options on stocks in order to get long equity holds on them for companies that you think are going to be worth the hold 5 years from now. And at the same time, that's why I went ahead and took some time last night to go ahead and build the spread tracker, because we can make some option calls short term in recoveries from market pullbacks on things that we hold equity stakes in, and acquire the profits and the volatility of the markets, whether we're buying calls or puts on our options or on our long-term hold stocks. You can do both. You don't have to just do calls on them, because you can ride the markets. If the market's up, you're doing calls. If the market's coming down, you're doing puts on those same long-term hold stocks, right? So you're riding the wave and you're making money regardless. And even if you're in a stock that you're holding long term, if you're putting a put on it, it's called hedging your account or leveraging your account, where just because your long term hold equity is coming down, you're still making money to justify the downward pull. You could take the profits that you made on the way down and stuff it back into that long-term hold, and now you got more than where you started with. You're catching up some more gains that you didn't have. So that's the goal, just to break it down to the T for you. It looks like people are falling off the YouTube live stream. For those of
I
you that
definitely
stayed long
appreciate
enough,
the knowledge. For real.
say what?
I said I definitely appreciate the knowledge. It seems like how you were saying, like I've caught some stocks at a good price
Yeah,
a few times, and it's just like it just feels like I just had beginner's luck, but I didn't really know what I was doing.
right.
I just liked it lucid.
Yeah,
Once I saw the car and I seen Bloomberg talking about they had a 4 billion market cap, I was like, oh yeah. I looked at the car. I was like, I like this way better than a Tesla, so I just invested in her account with that just because of how the car looked.
yeah. So markets are pulling back. Just to wrap up the YouTube live stream, because people can go watch this later. Markets are pulling back, breaking below 313, coming down below 389. I think what we're seeing here is a longer double dip RSI, potentially on the 15-minute is what's going on here. Glad I sold my calls when I did. We're good. I'm going to go ahead and hop off the live stream. Thank you all for being here. If you haven't already, check the description to join our social media communities. We have a free Facebook chat. I put a link to that in the chat itself, and then also a link to our Discord where we're doing this small account challenge if you want to join us. But other than that, I only ask that you like and share it with any